guys, how's it going? It's me, Megan, and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark, and here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do sold videos, I'll do unboxings, I'll do all that good stuff, so if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. I did film a lot of this video, then realized my phone wasn't recording. Well, I'm pretty tired because I just unboxed the second half of my 100-pound bulk box from ThredUp and filmed that video. Thus why I'm out in my living room still. I have restarted and I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I sold this last week from April 17th to the 23rd. And I want you guys to let me know if you prefer that I tell you my sales day by day, like this is everything I sold on Monday, everything I sold on Tuesday, or would you prefer me to go site by site, like this is everything I sold on Poshmark last week, everything I sold on Depop. Let me know what you prefer. I don't mind either way, but if you guys have a preference, let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna start with the sales I had last Sunday on the 17th. I had 5 sales. I sold this Madewell short sleeve tie front top. I tend to stay away from Madewell's more basic items and also their smaller sizes, but I liked the way this top looked and I got it at my local thrift store, aka my local honey hole, where they still have semi-reasonable prices. And I think they only had this listed at about $2, so I did decide to pick it up. It ended up selling for $16, and then after fees, I made $11.08. And that didn't sell super quickly, but it also didn't sit forever. I think it probably took like 3 or 4 months to sell. Then I sold these Madewell 9-inch high-rise jeans. I was actually looking on my Poshmark app, and you could kind of see on there now some of your selling stats, and the brand for me that has been like my all-time best performer, like I've sold the highest amount of, if that makes sense, like I've profited the most off of since I started selling on Poshmark, is actually Madewell, and that was actually really shocking to me, but I do still sell it quite a bit. Even if it isn't performing as well as it once did for me, I still really like to sell their denim pieces, their purses, and their shoes. But yeah, I saw this Madewell 9-inch high-rise jean. I got these at Plato's Closet. I picked them up because they weren't priced as high as all the other pairs, and I did like the style. I still think I probably paid about $15 for them, so they weren't super cheap. And someone did negotiate me down to $38, but I decided to accept, and then after fees, I made $30.40. Then I sold this Vin's windbreaker for someone on Flip. It was a men's jacket. I thought it was pretty cute, but it did take a little while to sell. Probably like a month and a half. It ended up selling for $30. After fees, I made $22.28, and then I didn't write it down, but after flip consignment fees, I probably made about $7 off of that. Then I sold these Mack Weldon Ace sweatpants. These were in the color blue. I received these in a Cozy Threads box I received about a month ago. It was all Mack Weldon men's pants, and I got quite a bit of their sweatpants. I had sold their sweatpants once before, and they sold really well. In that like $45 range, and the cost of goods was about $9 per pant, so I thought that that would be worth it, and I sold quite a few of them so far, so I am excited. This pair ended up selling for $48, and after fees I made $38.40. Then I sold the same sweatpants in the color black right after that for $43, and then after fees I made $34.40. So as long as I'm making $30+ per piece, I'm gonna get a pretty good profit on that. Then on Monday, the 18th, I had 2 sales. I sold a bundle of these Outdoor Voices cropped leggings and these camper suede sneakers. I've had these leggings forever. I don't remember where I purchased them at all. I really don't. I have no idea what I paid for them. I'll have to look at my spreadsheet later. But I've been sitting on these for maybe even 2 years. I don't know why. It could be that they're cropped or that they're very basic. Maybe I had them listed too high, but I thought Outdoor Voices was like a really good brand, and I think I only had them listed at like $30. And then these camper sneakers I got in a ThredUp shoebox sometime last year, I believe. Camper is pretty expensive retail, and I've resold it a couple of times, but they're definitely slow movers. Maybe it's just the styles that I've picked up. But this person did bundle them and offer me $50, and I decided to accept, so after fees I made $40. Then I had the RealReal sale. You guys might remember this Alexander Wang cute neon green and blue sweater. I definitely should have sold this myself, but I thought it might do good on the RealReal, but they did not price it up very high at all. It sold for $44, and then after fees I'll make $13.20, which is just about breaking even since I got that in a designer DIY box. You live and you learn. I probably wouldn't send Alexander Wang into them again. Unless I found it at the bins and it was a really basic piece, then I probably would. Okay, and then on Tuesday the 19th, I had 7 sales. So this week was definitely better than my last couple. Things are starting to pick up, probably because I am listing a little bit more. But on Tuesday the 19th, I sold this J.Crew Jackie cardigan. Really classic looking cardigan in like an orange color. You might remember I got this at the bins pretty recently. It sold for $18 and after fees, I made $14.40. Then I sold another Madewell piece. I sold these new tag Madewell black wash denim shorts. I think I paid about $10 or $12 for these at Plato's Closet, but definitely over a year ago. These took a really long time to sell. I don't know why. I actually bought these before my Plato's Closet switched locations, which again was over a year ago. But they did end up selling. They ended up selling for $34 and after fees I made $27.20. I think I probably just had them listed a bit too high. Then I sold these girls pink Bogs rain boots. I got these at the bins probably a couple of months ago. I did have to clean them up a bit, but I didn't think I was gonna get too much for them to begin with since they were kids and they were used. But they ended up selling for $15, which I was happy about. And then after fees, I made $12. Then I had another flip-flop piece, which was a Madewell piece. It was a Madewell silk star print skirt. I really love this. It was a small size though. I think it was a 0 or a 00. And it did have like a small stain kind of right in the front. So not ideal. It ended up selling for $12. After Poshmark fees, I made $9.05. And then after flip consignment fees, I probably made about $3 on that piece. So not great. But I am at the end of that lot and I'll need to be sending it back soon. So any little bit of money I can get from those pieces, I'm happy. Then I sold this Bullhead denim skirt. I believe Bullhead is a brand that's sold at PacSun, I want to say. I also don't remember where I got this skirt. I think I got it either at the bins or from a dollar day at Plato's Closet or even like a denim DIY box. So I definitely didn't pay up for this and I wouldn't have. But it sold for $10 and after fees I made $7.05, which I'm perfectly happy about for a little denim skirt. And then I sold this new tag Smart Wool base layer. I was so excited when I found this. I found this at Value Village, I think in January. And I was wondering why it wasn't getting a lot of attention. And I had actually mislabeled the brand on the listing. I had listed it as being an icebreaker brand, not Smart Wool. And I kind of get those brands mixed up in my mind, but I do think Smart Wool is kind of a little bit more sought after. So once I switched the brands, it took about, I say, a month to sell after that. But it ended up selling for $56, which is a little bit less than what I wanted for it, but it was a smaller size. But it was new with tags, so I don't know. I ended up accepting, someone offered me. Then after fees, I made $44.80, so I'm still really happy about the profit on that. And then I had another, the RealReal sale. And this was a RealReal sale that I was kind of surprised about. So a lot of you guys were telling me that I don't need to just send in brands on their brand list. Like there are certain brands that they will definitely not accept. I sent them some Eileen Fisher. They were like, no. And I was like, okay. And then there were some brands that weren't on their list that they did accept for me, like some Diesel jeans. All Saints, I think, wasn't necessarily on their list. The silk gown that I had that they do actually sell on their website but wasn't on their brand list, I sent in. And they didn't have any Armani on their list. Like Armani has different lines and probably like Armani Exchange is either their lowest line or one of their lower lines. They probably wouldn't accept. But Armani Collezione, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I do think is one of their higher end lines, if not the highest. And I had a leather linen moto jacket from them. That should be up here. I sent in, I got it from a 25-piece women's mixed clothing box that I randomly got a lot of designer in probably over a year ago. I've had a hard time selling it. I think I sent it back into ThreadUp and it didn't sell. So this time I sent it into the RealReal. And since the brand wasn't on their brand list, I thought that they would list it around $50 to $90, which is what seemed like they did list a lot of things at that weren't on their brand list. But they listed this as one of the highest prices of anything I've sent them in so far. They listed it at $195, which is higher than a pair of Burberry kind of used moccasins I sent them, which I thought was funny. But yeah, I was shocked. And then it did sell. It sold with discount, which literally all my stuff does. But it sold for $152, and after fees I'll make $76, and I am pretty happy about that, to be honest. Then on Wednesday the 20th, I actually had no sales. That was the day I was at the bins, and a lot of times when I am sourcing all day, I kind of forget about like sharing my closet, sending offers right away. It kind of gets pushed under the rug. So a lot of my sourcing days, I don't have a lot of sales. So I actually had no sales that day. And then on Thursday the 21st, I actually only had one sale, and it was on Depop. I think at 11 sales on Depop so far, which is really exciting to me. I posted this Blarney fisherman sweater, which are good keywords for sweaters that look like this, which are still pretty trendy, a little out of season right now because it is, again, gonna be spring and summer, but you can wear it on a boat, hence the fisherman side of it. I got that at the bins, probably in February, and it ended up selling on Depop for $50, and after fees I'll make $45. And then on Friday the 22nd, I had 4 sales. I sold this new tag Gal Meets Glam dress, and the reason I am laughing is because I've been sitting on this dress for the longest time. I don't know why it hasn't sold. I got this at TJ Maxx a while ago. It was heavily discounted. I don't remember how much I paid, but I want to say it was like $15 or less, which is a great deal, and it was a great size, and I loved the color, but I think I just had it listed too high at the end of the day. It ended up selling for $50, and after fees I made $40, which at this point I am more than happy about. Then I sold these Levi's 502 cutoff shorts. I cut these off myself. I either got these jeans in a denim DIY box or at the bins, and then once I collect enough of them, I just turn them into cutoff shorts and sell them that way. These ended up selling for $25, and after fees I'll make $20. And then I had one of my favorite sales that I've had in a long time. Probably my favorite sale I've at least had all year. It was this Double D ranch denim top. So a couple of days ago on Friday, me and my husband were in like this new part of town that we haven't really been to before, because it was pizza week last week in Portland, in a bunch of different locations. Bars, restaurants, pizza shops were doing like new flavors that they haven't done before, and they were just gonna be available for that week. And there was a pizza that my husband wanted to try out in this side of town. We were waiting for the restaurant to open, and we're sort of just killing time because we got there really early. So we got a coffee, and then I noticed a consignment shop, so I wanted to go in, and we did spend a decent amount of time there. I really loved the vibes of it for sure, but I only really left with like 3 pieces, 1 for myself and then 2 to resale, and this was one of them. And my husband is not much of a shopper, so he was kind of like not unhappy, but definitely not happy that we were spending so much time shopping. So I found this right when I got there. It's the brand Double D Ranch, and this has been on my Bolo bucket list forever. It's this really cool Western brand. It can get really expensive. I've heard people talking about it for years, and I just haven't found it. So I literally get there, I find the piece, it says $16. I'm like, didn't even look at it. I'm like, I'm buying it. I want it. It's on my list. Number 1 reselling mistake, I know, but I picked it up. I get home, I take pictures of it, I go to list it, I cannot find any comps. I cannot find anything that looks like this. So I listed at $120, and I'm just like, we'll see, maybe that's too high. A lot of shirts by this brand were selling anywhere between $50 and $80, but they didn't look anything like the one I had. So I'm like, I'm either way underpricing this or way overpricing this, we'll see. It ended up selling that same day for $120. And obviously I made a great profit, but it was even better to get to tell my husband like, hey, look at this. You want to know why we spent all that time shopping? It's so I can make literally $80 in one day just selling this piece. So he was proud of me. He's a good sport. I know shopping is not his thing. I try not to drag him along with me. Anyway, long story short, I still, even after I sold this, was trying to look up comps to be like, did I underlist it by a lot? But I just couldn't find anything that looked like this piece. And at the end of the day, I'm more than happy selling at $120, and after fees I made $94.28. And then after that I had the RealReal sale. I sold these Diesel men's jeans, and like I mentioned, Diesel isn't on their list of things that they take. If I find something and I want to know if the RealReal might take it and sell it, I'll just search the brand on their website, and if they have listings by that brand, I will go ahead and try and send it in. Even if they sell some things by that brand, they won't necessarily take your piece. But they did take these diesel jeans. I actually got these at the bins not too long ago, so I'm not upset that they only sold for $26.25, and after fees I made $7.88. I've tried to sell diesel jeans myself and I haven't had the best of luck, so I'm fine just sending those in, especially because I did not spend that much money on them. All right, and then yesterday, Saturday the 23rd, I had 5 sales. It's a nice day, so the motorcycles are out, so sorry if you can hear that. I'm right by a window. The first thing I sold yesterday were these new Tag, Yummy is the brand, shapewear. These were a size small. I got these in a fun box maybe a year or more ago. They have been sitting for a long time. I don't think shapewear in the size small is the best size to sell. I don't think size small people need shapewear, but everyone feels comfortable in what they feel comfortable in. So I definitely wanted to give it a try. It took forever to sell. It could just mostly be the brand too, it not being a very popular one, but it ended up selling for $16, and after fees I made $11.08. Then I sold this leather jacket. I think the brand was Daniel. Maybe I didn't read. It'll say up on the listing. I don't know if I wrote the brand down right. But it was a leather jacket and it was from a flip lot, and the lining on the hood was actually fox fur, not faux fur, unless they spelt it wrong on the label, but fox fur. So it did take a long time to sell. This lot I think expires today, so I just got it in there by selling it. If you sell on flip, unless the pieces that are left over are getting a lot of attention, I usually just send the stuff back. This lot was not doing well for me, and this just takes up so much space in my little 2-bedroom apartment that I share with my husband that I just can't have these boxes sitting here forever. So unless I really like the stuff that's left, or there's just a couple of pieces left, I'll just send it back to them and be like, I tried my best, sorry I couldn't sell it, you can have your stuff back. But I ended up selling for $40. After Poshmark fees I made $32, and then after flip consignment fees I think I'll make about $12, so not great. But then I sold a bundle of 3 things. This Urban Outfitters long sleeve men's rag and bone hoodie, and another pair of the Mack Weldon sweatpants, this time in gray. The bundle ended up selling for $90. I do have an automatic 20% off of 2 or more items in my closet. The Urban long sleeve I got in some men's box and I've had it forever. The rag and bone hoodie I got at the bins, and those sweatpants, like I mentioned, I only paid $9 for. So I'd say I probably spent like $11 on everything in total. So it ended up selling for $90, and after fees I made $72. Then I sold another Madewell piece. I actually got this at the bins on Wednesday, so it was a decently quick flip, which I'm happy about. It was a longer Madewell ribbed cardigan in like an off-white color. I like finding Madewell at the bins, so I don't have to feel like I have to price it as high to make a good profit, and I think that definitely helps it move quicker. It ended up selling for $29, and after fees I made $23.20. And the very last thing I sold yesterday were these Old Navy wide leg jeans. I got this at a Goodwill in Astoria, which is a town kind of like in Seaside, Oregon, when me and my husband were going away on a little weekend vacation there, and we stopped. I think I paid like $7 or $8 for these, but I really loved the style and I thought they'd be a quicker flip, but I have been sitting on them for probably like 4 or 5 months at this point, so not the best. It probably has a lot to do with it being Old Navy, and people don't really want to spend more than $20, $25 on Old Navy jeans. But they ended up selling for $27, and after fees I made $21.60. So those were my sales this week. As I mentioned in my last What Sold Sunday video, I'm not going to be telling you my totals just because it doesn't really matter how much I made each week, and you guys pretty much just care about like what's selling. Is it selling fast? Is it selling slow? How much it's selling for? The totals don't really matter, and a lot of times I think that they can make people feel, you know, anxious about their own sales, and I just don't want to do that. So good week. I'm very happy. Definitely better than the last 2 weeks. I know someone mentioned in my last video that their April was really slow, so I think that also kind of attributed to the fact that I wasn't having a lot of sales, not just because I wasn't posting new inventory, but also because the month itself was just kind of a slower sales month. So let me know. Hopefully things are picking up for you guys. I'm really excited to get some of my bulk box stuff listed and the rest of the bin stuff I got on Wednesday listed. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great end to your April. I cannot believe in a week it's gonna be May. Yeah, I hope you guys have good weather. I hope you guys have a great time sourcing and selling, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.